Have you ever watched a cartoon and recognized the voice behind one of the characters and became extremely frustrated when you couldn't place it? If so, you're not alone. It can be maddening to determine where you recognize a voice when you can't see their face. In this video, we'll cover popular cartoons from your childhood and where you might have heard the voice of characters before. As you'll see, many actors and actresses voice various roles in Hollywood, making it easy to recognize their voice.
Every day should be a roller coaster. You know what? I know what we're gonna do today. We're gonna build a roller coaster.
On Phineas and Ferb, one of the main characters is Candace. She is Phineas's older sister and Ferb's stepsister. You might find Candace's voice familiar because it's the voice of a very popular Disney star. This actress was also a part of the High School Musical series, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody show, and The Hellcat show. If you haven't guessed yet, Candace's voice is played by Ashley Tisdale. Ashley is a total childhood inspiration because of her feminine, sparkly, and girly style. Who didn't want to be just like Ashley as a kid?
Hello, Bustum? Do I have a show for you?
Another major character on the Phineas and Ferb cartoon was Phineas Flynn. No duh, his name is in the title of the show. The actor who voices Phineas isn't as well known as Ashley Tisdale because he hasn't played a lot of serious roles. However, he's played parts on well-known movies and TV shows like Everybody Hates Chris, Role Models, and The Walking Dead. If you haven't been able to guess yet, Phineas is voiced by Vincent Martella. Even though Vincent hasn't always landed major roles, he's no stranger to Hollywood. In fact, you might notice his name more now that you know that he was behind Phineas Flynn's character.
Oh, cool, our moon elevator. Mom would love this.
Another classic childhood cartoon is The Fairly OddParents. Sometimes in cartoons, actors and actresses voice more than one character. This was precisely the case on The Fairly OddParents, as Wanda and Mrs. Turner is voiced by the same woman. You might not recognize this actress because she mainly does voice acting instead of on-screen acting. She's done work for other animations and action movies like Shrek, BioShock, and Spider-Man. The voices of Wanda and Mrs. Turner is voiced by the one and only Suzanne Blakesley. You might be surprised that Timmy Turner from The Fairly OddParents is actually voiced by a girl, not a boy. But if you think about it, Timmy was a young boy, so it makes sense for his character to be voiced by a woman because the voice would be more appropriate than a deep man's voice. The woman who voices Timmy has done extensive work behind the scenes of cartoons, which is why you might recognize it. She's the voice from the Powerpuff Girls as Bubbles and Raven from Teen Titans. If you don't know the name, it's Tara Strong. Tara also did the voices for Poof and Tad on The Fairly OddParents show.
I mean, let's get you apart! So, what do you want me to do, Vicky?
That brings us to the next childhood cartoon sensation, the Powerpuff Girls. We know who's behind Bubbles' voice, but what about the other girls from the powerful trio? Buttercup is another girl from the famous cartoon that you might recognize. The voice actress was also behind Tommy Pickles in Rugrats. She's done work elsewhere too, like in the movie Happy Feet and on the TV show Curious George. The voice actress behind all these characters is Elizabeth Daily. She's a talented voice actress, but she's also played roles on the big screen.
Yeah! It's wheels for the win!
The final girl from the Powerpuff Girls trio is Blossom. An interesting fact about the voice actress who voices Blossom is she's also a redhead. You might recognize her voice from the Tom and Jerry show as she voices Toodles' mom. The actress has done lots of other voice acting work for video games and cartoons. If you don't know who she is, her name is Kathy Cavadini. Keep an eye out for her name as you'll likely see it pop up somewhere.
I can see why. The possibilities are endless.
Next up on the list of nostalgic childhood cartoons is Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. Just like Timmy Turner, Jimmy's voice was actually a woman's, not a man's. The voice actress behind Jimmy also made an appearance on iCarly, played the voice of Wednesday Addams on the old TV show, and voiced Diana on Sailor Moon. She's been a part of a ton of other film creations and has built quite an extensive resume. Her name is Debbie Derryberry. Even though you might not recognize her name, you'll definitely recognize her voice as she's done tons of work.
I should be able to use the Baby Quacker's remote to control the Malibu Death Machine.
One of the recurring characters on Jimmy Neutron is Commander Baker. The voice actor behind Commander Baker hasn't done a lot of cartoon work, but he has done a lot of action and drama movies throughout his career. His biggest movies are Armageddon, Planet of the Apes, and The Green Mile. The actor behind Commander Baker is none other than Michael Clark Duncan himself. This would be a hard voice to place since he hasn't done a ton of cartoon work.
I'm prepared to cry and beg.
Teen Titans is another childhood memory that many of us 1990s and 2000s kids remember. One of the memorable characters from Teen Titans is Beast Boy. The voice actor of Beast Boy also played the voice of Michelangelo on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Stinkfly on Ben 10. As you can see, this voice actor has had a lot of experience with sci-fi and action cartoons. Later on in life, this actor went on to do some action movies like Fast and Furious. If you don't know who this actor is yet, his name is Greg Sipes.
Whose voice does you do?
Yours, fool.
Another major character from Teen Titans is Slade. The voice actor that embodies Slade isn't someone who normally takes on voice acting roles. He's been a part of the Hellboy, Transformers, and Sons of Anarchy series. However, he's also taken on some small roles with Kim Possible, Archer, and Adventure Time. The man behind Slade's voice is none other but Ron Perlman. Now that you know his name, the powerful face and jawline of Ron might remind you of the big roles he's played before.
I'm not through.
Rugrats is one of the all-time unforgettable cartoon favorites of children from the 1990s and 2000s. You obviously know that. What you might not know is that there's a famous actress who voiced the small role of Taffy. She's acted on mega iconic movies like What a Girl Wants, She's the Man, Hairspray, and Big Fat Liar. If the actress's name isn't coming to you yet, she was also the star of The Amanda Show, and her name is Amanda Bynes. Even though Taffy from Rugrats isn't a big role, Amanda did a great job with her voice.
But I'm bummed I'm missing Kimmy's B-Day party. I promise I'll make it up to her.
The bigger roles of the Rugrats shows weren't played by big-name actresses. Although they've had successful careers in their own way, Kimmy is one of the characters from the Rugrats show that you might recognize the voice of. The voice actress also voiced Trixie Tang from the Fairly OddParents and Yasmin from the show Bratz. She's also done voice acting work for video games and other cartoons, such as Curious George. The voice actress's name is Diane Kwan.
Chihuahua? Can't sleep without him.
Science lovers were probably a big fan of Dexter's Laboratory as a kid. Dexter's voice was played by a woman to capture the youthful voice of a boy character. This voice actress goes way back. She's appeared in the movies Jerry Maguire and Babe. She also did the voice for Whizzer from 101 Dalmatians and Chucky Finster from Rugrats, which is why you might recognize Dexter's voice. If the name hasn't popped into your head yet, it's Christine Cavanaugh.
Oh, can it be true?
Do you remember the TV cartoon Hey Arnold? If so, Grandpa was one of the recurring characters that you might recall. This actor's voice is definitely recognizable because he also does the voice of Homer from The Simpsons and Jonathan from Rugrats. He's done extensive work for other cartoons and films throughout his career. The voice actor's name is Dan Castellaneta. Keep an eye out for Dan's name as he does a lot of work in Hollywood.
Oh, well, shoot, short man.
Next up on the list is the cartoon Adventure Time with Finn and Jake. Adventure Time had a very unique animation which made it popular among children and even teens. Finn's voice was played by a young voice actor. He's also worked on the Voltron series as Lance and Batman the Brave and the Bold TV show as Robin. His name is Jeremy Shada. If you don't know Jeremy, definitely look him up because he is a total heartthrob.
Mysterious. Oh, brought something for the party.
Two of the other big characters on Adventure Time are Ice King and Gunter. These two characters were voiced by the same actor. You probably will recognize his voice because the actor also did SpongeBob SquarePants' voice. He's also done voices on Rick and Morty, Final Space, BoJack Horseman, and American Dad, which is probably why his voice sounds so familiar. The man behind all these personas is Tom Kenny. Tom has also done work on many other cartoons and films, making him well known in Hollywood circles.
You know where it is? Lead the way!
One of the lesser-known cartoons from the 1990s and 2000s is Total Drama Island, but if you watched it, you might remember Chef Hatchet. The voice behind Chef Hatchet went on to do a bunch of crime dramas and thriller movies such as Jigsaw, Urban Legend, and Bait. Even though cartoons aren't his thing, he did an excellent job with Chef Hatchet's voice. The man behind the character is Clea Bennett. Clea's most recent roles on TV have been The Man in the High Castle and The Tick.
Sage, the supernumerary.
Another awesome cartoon is Disney's Gravity Falls. Mabel Pines is one of the main characters, and this voice actress has done work on other big-time cartoons and movies. She's the voice of Sarah Lynn on BoJack Horseman and Louise Belcher on Bob's Burgers. She's also appeared in Adventure Time, Norbit, and The Muppets movie. Her name is Kristen Shaw. If you don't know who she is, definitely remember her name, as she's part of a lot of new movies and TV shows.
He said Mabel! Either that or doorbell.
Another character from Disney's Gravity Falls is Lazy Susan. You might recognize Lazy Susan's voice because this actress has also appeared on A Cinderella Story as the evil stepmom, Legally Blonde as Paulette, and American Pie as Stifler's mom. These are some pretty big roles, so it's hard to miss the girly and preppy voice. All of these characters are played by none other than Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh, the hide behind is definitely real.
How could we skip over the cartoon Kim Possible? Kim was definitely a powerful icon for girls with an inner tomboy. One of the other characters on the show is Dr. Draken. The voice behind Dr. Draken is probably familiar because this voice actor has done many other voices such as Bender from Futurama, King Zog from Disenchantment, Jake from Adventure Time, and Manly Dan from Gravity Falls. The voice behind all these characters is John DiMaggio. John has quite an impressive resume as he's worked on many cartoons and action films.
I believe some introductions are in order here.
Last on this list, but definitely not least, is Disney's Recess. Gretchen Grundy is one of the cartoon characters from the Recess playground. This voice actress has appeared on several iconic cartoons such as Teen Titans as Terra, Ben 10 as Gwen, and Renee from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Later on in her life, she's acted in many live-action movies such as The Avengers and The Last of Us. If you don't know her name, it's Ashley Johnson.
Dematerialized?
Just like out of Star Trek.
Fascinating.
That brings us to the end of our list of voices behind nostalgic cartoon characters. You might not recognize all of the voice actor and actresses' names, but definitely keep them in mind as they'll likely appear again. If you're curious about more cartoon, TV, and film facts, don't forget to subscribe to The Things. Thanks for watching.